Hey, girl.
Hey.
Hey. Hey. Okay, so I got a story today. I feel like we ain't been having stories lately, but I have a story. So I feel like, you know what, that's actually the title of this episode. Did you ever realize that whenever a woman is like, I just feel like there's nothing good coming from that statement?
Nope.
Ever.
And possibly a read.
I just feel like
especially they do this number here.
Listen,
it's coming.
Even worse.
I just feel like
well, I just feel like, and I just feel like it was somebody who used to be really, really close with, like really, really good friends, would say like almost like family. Y'all ever had like a relationship where you spend like 2 or 3 years really, really close with a certain person, but then like you may have like a breakdown in communication or something that just like devastates that friendship, and it just never gets back to wherever it was. So Denise is like, yes,
absolutely,
yes. Okay, so this was that type of situation, and the person, we have kind of been outside of that, like, oh, this is like family for maybe like 3 or 4 years. 3 or 4 years. And their birthday came up and it passed. And maybe like a week or two later, they reached out to me and they were like, hey, you know, what's going on? We were having a conversation and they were like, you didn't call me, tell me happy birthday. Da, 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 da. And in my mind, it was kind of like, we haven't kicked it on a birthday in years. And they were like, you know, I just feel like, you know, I expected for you to come out and do da 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 da, and that it was going to be like this, and that you would give me something for my birthday, or at least reach out and say hello. And what, Ayana? Because you're like,
no, I was gonna ask, like, so they wanted you to, did they have like birthday festivities they wanted you to attend, or did they invite you?
They did not personally invite me, but it was almost.
I just feel like I need an invite.
But it was like one of those situations where I guess in their mind, they assumed that I knew what was happening because like, I guess everybody around them was talking about going and all the people we used to hang out together went. But it was like, I'm not going somewhere if like we don't kick it like that. And I think I may have had something else going on. I don't even remember. But it was just like this expectation that did not meet the level of friendship where we were. And I feel like I just want to have a conversation around that topic in and of itself. And I don't know how this is about to go, where y'all fitting to take it. But just this conversation around women and friendship and expectations of your friends that are not communicated, or even expectations after the fact, where it's like, oh, I thought that we were at this level where you would do this. And it's like, I didn't know that's where we was at. So I guess my first question is like, have y'all ever experienced that? Like a person on the other end having an expectation of you that was never communicated to you, that you felt like you were held to? This radio silence?
What? I know for me, friendship wise, I wouldn't know because people probably never communicated it to me.
Okay.
So I'm like, if you never said anything, I just don't know. Oops. So, but I've definitely had unexpected expectations when it came to sometimes with ministry. And like, you know, people expecting you to be this type of person in their life. And you're like, well, and then especially at the times, like I remember when I first had Haven, I was transitioning into motherhood, and like it was a interesting year for me. Y'all know I talked about it. So around that same time, there were expectations from an individual that was just very interesting, because I was like, listen, I'm already overextending myself to I guess in a way minister to you on a continuous basis. Like you had me in the middle of Costco, like hearing about your drama, and I'm sitting there and me and Sylvester are like trying to minister to this person. And I was like, I felt like I went all the way out, but it was still like things that I heard on the back end of, well, you didn't do enough for me, or you such and such, such and such. And I was like, what? Like what more do you want from me? like, listen, I'm going through my own things, and I'm like literally sacrificing my feelings, my time with my family, because it was literally me, Sylvester, and Haven in Costco getting groceries. And I'm like, I spent 30 minutes in the car trying to talk you off a ledge in a way. And then another 30 minutes standing in Costco trying to shop, but also listen to you. And it just, so I've had those type of unexpected, or I've had that, but when it came to friendships, I think for me personally, because I'm like this with other people, I'm like, listen, if I have an expectation, I'm going to tell you. Like, let's say this year I decided to do a birthday dinner.
Right.
I'm going to tell y'all, November, Sade, Lauren, Denise, I'm having a birthday dinner, and I expect all of y'all to be there. Like, I'm just going to say,
you should do that.
You should. I haven't had one in years, but because of the
right,
pandemic.
That's what I'm saying. You should do that.
Yeah,
you
but
totally
you know, like I'm that type of person where I'm just gonna say it. Like, like, if I want people to be there, or how we've been like, we should hang out. Let's hang out, and then we set a date, or because even different things we've done as of recent. We setting a date. Are we gonna do this? Like, it's not an assumption. It's just, I feel like when you're grown, we communicate. So
yeah,
that's just me.
I think the challenging part about what you were saying, Sade, is that you said y'all had kind of gone through like a turbulent situation where things really wasn't like on good standings between you and that friendship. And I've been there before where like you have gone through something with a friend, and it's like y'all really hadn't talked about the issue. Like, y'all moved on, but you ain't really talked about the issue. So both of y'all are kind of walking on pins and needles because you really don't know how.
Pins and needles. I had moved on.
She said, I'm just fine.
I can move on.
I think we always say that, like, oh, I move on, but it's like if you're ever, I don't know, just me, maybe it's just me, but like if I'm ever around that person, or if I'm communicating with that person, in the back of my mind, I'm still like, we ain't talked about that issue. And like, it's still playing in the back of my mind. And I try to, like, for me, I know my tongue can be like really sharp at times, so I tread lightly. Right. You know, what you gonna say, Ayana?
Quick question for Sade. Did y'all talk about the issue?
We did.
Okay.
Okay.
But it did.
Well, that makes a difference.
Yeah, we had talked about the issue. I guess the thing for me is like, I think I was at a point where it's like, if you would have invited me, I probably would have come. But I don't think that you can hold me accountable for not coming to something that A, I wasn't invited to, and B, we don't communicate on a regular basis. So,
and you didn't know about it.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Correct.
That part too. Like, you can't
that's
expect
weird.
Yeah, you can't expect.
But I mean, I guess in their mind, they were like, I mean, well, you didn't even call, you didn't text, you didn't say happy birthday. Like, their thing was like, even if you didn't come, it's like you didn't reverence my day, so to speak, I guess. But what were you about to say, Denisa?
I mean, I feel like when you have those situations, I'm a different kind of person. So I've actually been in this situation, and I was invited to the birthday thing. It was an invitation actually from their parents, and I went, because I'm a go. That's just me. Like, I am a big birthday kind of a person. So, and it's your day. So I'm going to see you. I'm going to be out. But if it were a situation where it would have inconvenienced me and I was already doing something, I'm not going. But if it was, to show up, celebrate, say, hey, love you, bye, keep it moving, I would have showed up. Yeah.
I think your friend, what the issue they had was like that there was like a response. They feel like there was at least like a minimal responsibility of, like you said, acknowledging.
Yeah.
And sometimes I do realize that, like, in your adult space, it is kind of tough sometimes to, okay, I can only speak for myself. It's tough sometimes to kind of, I guess, prioritize certain things when you got life kind of happening at the same time in tandem.
That's true.
And I feel like, Ayana says this all the time, where you have to kind of show each other grace, because sometimes it's not me blatantly saying, I ain't gonna text you, happy birthday. I can't tell you how many happy belated birthdays I get in text messages, and I don't, honestly, I've been one of them friends, I've texted 2 weeks after their birthday, like, oh my God, I missed your birthday. I'm so sorry, but I always try and like tell my friends or try and like even say to my mind, like say to myself in my mind, like, you know, if y'all ended on a good point, there shouldn't be no beef there. And that's why I'm saying, like, if you didn't text or acknowledge their birthday and you saying you just told me, like, not you, but I'm saying the person just told you like there ain't no beef there, then why you upset when I didn't text? You know, like
sounds like the person holds her to a standard still, you know, when clearly the friendship has moved on past that and they have yet to come to grips with that, you know, with that place or the space that she serves in their life. You know, you can't be upset. I feel like you can't be upset with someone if you know, one, that 3-4 years, I'm not even checking for you to tell me happy birthday. That's just me personally. Like,
you know what that sounds like though? But that reminds me of Denise.
What?
It's like almost like, okay, so you know when you like with a guy and y'all break up, but y'all not really broken up and y'all in a situationship. It's almost like a friendship situationship where it's like y'all were friends for so long. And now that you're not friends, it's like, okay, well, we're not enemies. We're not people who don't know each other. And it's like you're in that in-between space almost. I don't know. It's like a weird space to be in with a friend almost. And I feel like even like with our listeners, like people are always saying like, oh, it's just so hard to find new friends in your adulthood. And so I think sometimes that people get into this mode where they want to kind of go backwards and try to like reconnect or like reignite what they had with somebody who used to be a friend, even after certain things that are broken that cannot truly be fixed. So,
you know what's crazy? I was just saying this to myself today. I was like, you know what, Lauren, I saying, talking to myself in third person, but I was like, you know what, Lauren, like, I love the fact that you embrace seasons, right? Sometimes it's hard, but because to your point, when you were talking about creating like friends in an adult space, as you all know, like I am temporarily like not in Atlanta right now. And to be honest, I'm now kind of in that position where I don't have any local friends. Like I don't have friends to go to events or to like hang out. Like if I was in Atlanta, every time I come to Atlanta, it's a move. We doing something, you know? But when I'm back home, because all of my friends have relocated, it's just not that. And I was saying to myself, I was like, dang, sis, you're now in a different season. Like, this is a new season for you. And I feel like sometimes, you know, us as adults, it's kind of hard to embrace the season changes because you're so conditioned to, number one, to what you have in your mind and what you want to be. Like a lot of people in their mind, they see themselves having a plethora of friends or having several friend groups or being on a move every weekend. And sometimes you're trying to force yourself to be this imaginary person that you saw yourself being, that you miss the whole fact that you're just now in like a new season. Like you're now like in a transition and it's temporary. See, no season is ever like permanent, but like it's temporary. But like when you said like, you know, being friends or developing friendships in an adult space, I'm there now. Like it is tough because in the back of your mind, we was just talking before we press record, in the back of your mind, I'm that kind of adult. I love to nap and I don't take like 30-minute naps. I'm like an hour and a half strong.
Gone. I feel you, girl. I feel you.
And you do that 3 times in a day, you know, it's like, dang, you know, your day.
3 times?
What?
3 times?
Right.
Okay, 2 to 3. Look, 2 to 3 times in a day. You know, your day about gone. You know, so I mean, and then on top of that, you got the 8 hours.
Breast.
Y'all, she just told on herself. All
Where
right,
are you working?
4:30. That's why.
Well, I'm saying like it's hard out here, you know. So like,
what part is hard? We was talking about friends.
Napping.
Right, where we at?
Where are we going?
I'm like, it's hard when you're trying to get naps, but you want to develop friend groups, but then you really don't know where to go, you know. And Lord, you ain't got no church in your location. Like the struggle is real. So I can understand sis being like, I done found a good friend. Sis, text me.
Oh boy,
text me. Yeah, I ain't trying to put out no more applications.
What? No, but that's real, Lauren. That's so real. And I guess I feel like, okay, so being vulnerable, my little Lauren gave us some truth. I'm gonna give us some transparency. Okay, somebody gonna be transformed by this episode. Somebody. I don't know if it's gonna be me or Lauren, but somebody will be transformed. I feel like, I remember maybe like a year and a half, 2 years ago, like just telling Emmett, like, I don't have no friends here. And I was just like, I don't have no friends here. And I was so frustrated. And Emmett was like, you know, so many people. I was like, yeah, but like, why are you making that face, Ayana? Don't make that face like how you making that face.
Because she said 2 to 3 years ago, and we were definitely around.
I mean,
but it's all good.
Okay.
It's okay. It was a season.
This is my transparency moment. Yeah. Okay. Let me be vulnerable.
Okay.
Dang. But what I was saying is, back then it's like, yeah, I had people who I could hang out with and I could connect with, but it wasn't how it is now. Like, I feel like back then it wasn't, it may be more than like 2 or 3 years ago, because I keep forgetting I got married about almost 2 years ago. So it was before that.
Yeah, it had to be before that. I'm like,
yeah, it was before that.
Right.
I'm talking about like
planning weddings, and we went on trips and stuff. So like, what are you talking about?
It's in my mind, I just got married in December, even though COVID don't count. We not counting them 2 years. Okay? You just move those out
in the middle of a long time.
So maybe like 5 or 6 years
like
ago.
5 years ago.
Okay.
So yeah, maybe around probably like 2 or 3 years after I got down here. Mm-hmm. And it was like I was hanging around people and I was developing relationships, but I didn't feel safe. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what it was. I think sometimes we confuse friendships with company, and company does not equate to friendships. And I think that I had to learn that you know, exactly what Lauren said. There were moments where I fell back into friendships that I knew were toxic, that I fell back into hanging out with people where it was like, okay, God, I know I stopped hanging out with this person for a reason. Mm-hmm. Why do I find myself hanging out with them again? And it was because I wasn't willing to put in the time to find women that I felt safe with. Mm-hmm. And I feel like once I shifted into that space of saying, all right, well, let me just be by myself until I really find like my tribe of women. And I feel like it kind of organically happened. Lauren always like mentions the point where it's like, I had a sleepover and me and Lauren ended up going out. Lauren came to the sleepover and me and Lauren had like just got cool. Mm-hmm. Like I might have just gotten her phone number a month before.
Likewise. That. Yeah.
I mean, well, yeah, Lauren, if I got yours, then that must have meant.
Yeah. Keep going.
Oh, y'all are hilarious.
No, but seriously, and I think Lauren was closer friends, of course, with like Denise and stuff like that. And so she was kind of a vibe because she was close with Denise. And we woke up and we went to brunch and I was like, okay, Lauren could be one of my people. You could be, one of my people. And I think building that takes time. Mm-hmm. But to Lauren's point, it's so easy to say, man, I put all of this time into this friendship. I need to just make this one work. And sometimes I feel like we hold on to friendships that have run their course, mm-hmm. i.e. what Lauren said about season, because we don't want to put in the time and effort to really make new friends. Mm-hmm. But I believe that those new friends, and that when you really find your real people, it changes the trajectory of your life. I feel like there's advice that Ayana has given me. There's advice that Denise has given me. There's advice that Lauren has given me that had I not been able to have that in certain seasons, I wouldn't be where I am. You know what I mean? And I feel like sometimes when you fall back into those old patterns, you miss out on that.
I love what you just said, because I feel the very same way. Crazy thing is, I feel like a lot of times friendships mimics like relationships. Like it mimics your process of even getting to know like your mate or your partner or your spouse. Because you were saying, I love what you were saying about the fact of like how I guess the friendships emerged. Yeah. And one thing I realized in that process or in that journey, it wasn't really anything I was like searching for. Like it was something I had a desire for. Like it was something that like, of course I prayed for and I asked God for, but it was like God literally opened up that window of opportunity And because my heart posture was in a good place, or, because life was in a good place for me, I was able to receive the blessings that God had like opened up for me. And so I say all that to say, like, with me, like now tapping into this new season, I still got friends. I mean, I still have amazing friends. And that's why I'm always in Atlanta, like every month. But my thing is, it's like, all right, God, maybe now you're having like my heart's posture like convert to something else. You need me to focus on something else. And I wouldn't be able to focus on it if I was around my friends, 24/7. So that's why I'm saying, like, just kind of being wise in knowing that God, in everything that he does, like he has your best interest, at heart. And so, like it made me think of something today. I was reading Proverbs 3:5-8, where it would say, trust in the Lord with all thy heart, lean not into your own understanding, in all thy ways acknowledge him, and he'll direct your path. And it was one thing that stood out to me that God kind of revealed to me. He said, trust is relationship, right? He said, if you say that you trust someone, like I say, I trust you, ladies, that means I could literally leave my purse anywhere around your presence. I know y'all ain't finna dig in it. Like, I trust you.
And if I do, I ain't gonna take no money. Probably some gum or like some TikTok
or some lotion or something.
Right. Maybe your perfume, depending on which one it is.
Right. But whatever you take, it wouldn't be anything that integrity wise would have me judging you, or anything like that. But in that, God questioned me. He said, how much do you trust me? He said, because if you say that you trust me as much as you do, why is it when you go through life circumstances, you adjust the relationship? Right. And so, like, for me, that was like, that was like a mind
revelation.
Yes, because honestly, like, y'all know, I've been going through a lot. I'm trying to like balance life right now. It's a challenge. Your girl is struggling. But with that, I'm gonna be candid. Like, the relationship that I had with God, like, as much as it was like on fire before, meaning I'm waking up, and y'all know I was waking up 5 o'clock in the morning reading my Bible, and I'm going to sleep now at 5 o'clock in the morning. I was going to bed reading my Bible, and now, really, to be honest, it's not that. And I thank God that he's embedded in me a thirst and an urge that when I feel the deficiency, I know who to go immediately to. Yeah. But God literally had to, like, today, he literally got me together, like jacked me up a little bit, and was like, if you say that you trust me, trust number one starts with relationship. Like, I need you to have relationship with me, so that, I know that you trust me, and that you know that you trust me, because in the middle of whatever you're going through, you will always feel my presence. You will always have some type of connection to me. And I feel like sometimes, we do ourselves a disservice when we adjust the relationship when we're feeling like we're going through a season that's just not, I just feel like we adjust the relationship.
I mean, I just feel like,
you think just the relationship with God, or just like within our friendships?
I think all the above. Like, I think for me, like, our result is to always kind of adjust relationship. And I said earlier, I feel like trust, number one, it starts with relationship. Like, that's where it starts at. You have to have relationship to have trust. And like, why would you adjust the thing that's the foundation of a thing?
So I love that you said it for two reasons. One, when I came to Atlanta, I was so depressed because I had so many, just like you said, I had friends. It was always somebody, and I did not have a license, but I was everywhere because everybody wanted to pick me up because they wanted me to go with them. So I never missed anything. I was always doing something. I was the friend with gas money too before y'all started. I had the gas money too, okay? But I realized, like, the season where I felt isolated initially, and I felt like I didn't have friends. One, I did pray and ask God for friends, but two, that was the season where God became my friend, and where I looked at him like my homie. Like, prior to that, it was like, okay, you my Lord, I can't do this, I can't do that. Actually, that was a lot law-based as well. So there's that. But whenever I was developing that personal relationship with him, it was like, oh, you cool. Like, I'm reading the Bible, cracking up. Like, God, this is in the Bible. This what you want us to read, because they wilding. Like, I just got to experience him on a new level. And I love that you point out too, like, it is kind of like what do you call it? Like a volleying, almost like a balance scale. And the same thing happens with our friendships, where you may have a couple great seasons where it's y'all rocking real thick and real hard. And sometimes your friends can be a distraction. They may love the Lord. They may, be in their own ministry, operating and doing what they're supposed to be doing, but they're still a distraction to you and what you should be doing. So I think I love that you said that, because I never thought of it that way. I never thought of, just not it fluctuating, but, the trust going in, factor in and out, kind of, and comparing that to an actual friendship. What I will say too, the second part of that is, like, God had to show me, like, like Jesus in the Bible. There was a season where there were no disciples. There was a season where he had to trust people he didn't even know, but he could see the God in them. He could see what they, he could see how they could assist him and how he could assist them. Like, there was a season when he was gone, and that was doing, I think, who was it? Was it John that didn't believe he rose? Like, where it's like, dang, that's your homie that was walking with you for years and he don't believe you. Like, like, it's so much that we could pull from if we really look at it. But it's just, what I'm learning in this season is to not be as emotional, because I realize I am sensitive. I put on the front like, oh girl, no, like, but really I am. So God also had to show me, like, it's okay.
Me too, Denise. Me too.
Feeling, it's okay. It's okay.
I'd be on the inside, on the outside, I'd be like, I don't care, it don't matter. And on the inside, I'd be like, that
I care.
It matters.
I'm real sensitive. I be lying. It matters.
I think I got that from my dad. I really do. Because I'm real quick to be like, man. Well, I mean, even before we started recording, I was talking about how, like, I'm in a space where when it comes to friendships, I expect nothing, so that everything feels big to me. Like, I don't expect people to show up to certain things. I don't expect people to do certain things, just out of mere fact that, okay, if I don't expect it,
I expect it.
Here's the thing. When you said it off, when you said it before we started recording, I can understand what you're saying. And I'm saying this. Well, first question. Do you feel like that's more of a defense mechanism?
Probably.
Because I had to be honest with myself. The reason why I will be more vocal this time now and just say what I expect or what I would like to see is because I would do that. Like, I would have these expectations in different friendships that I had over the years, and I would be constantly let down. And so instead of, and then I started having that type of attitude where I'm not going to expect anything because, I don't want to get my hopes high. But then I realized that's just a defense mechanism. Like, it's just me trying to be hard in a situation. But it's like, I can say I'm not expecting anything, but then when I still get disappointed, even though I said I didn't expect it, my feelings would get hurt a lot. So now it's like, okay, instead of me just doing that, let me just be vocal on, hey, let's do this or let's do that. And, I can still be better and do better at certain things. But I know for me that was a defense mechanism a lot, because I would just be like, and I still fall back on that sometimes, because I'll be like, well, or assume that, they're busy or such and such or whatever. Or I'll be honest, I feel like sometimes I make things bigger in my head of making a stress out of it. Like, okay, when we went out a couple of weeks ago, in my head, it's like, I wanted to hang out with y'all. I was like, yes, let's hang out. I'm excited. But part of me was like making it like, oh, I got to do all this stuff. I got to make sure this. I don't know why I do that. But it was actually a very easy transaction of, okay, Sylvester got the kids, all is well, just get in your car and go. And I had a great night. But it's like, I sometimes build myself up with this, I can't even explain it. If y'all do the same thing, you would understand. But like,
I don't think I do it with like friendships. I think I do that with like random things in life. Probably more work than anything.
Gotcha. I feel like I could do it with anything. Like,
yeah.
But not with life. With life, it just be like, I'd be like, do.
It's weird. Like, I don't know. And it's like, or I'll talk myself out of stuff. Now, I would never, I don't ever talk myself out of anything hanging out with y'all, but I've done it with other people. And it's not that I don't want to hang out with the people. It's just that I don't know if it's this, I don't know what it is. It's like, I don't know. I feel like it's self-sabotage.
Yeah, that's what it sounds like.
Like,
That's what it sounds like. But you did remind me of something that, oh, sorry, go ahead, Denise. No, you go.
I was gonna say, I think some like culture always, there everybody was posting and everybody lives by this, like expect nothing but appreciate everything. And as cute as that is, that's not what the Bible says. So if the Bible tells me that a friend sticks closer than a brother, or the Bible tells me how my friend should act, or how I can depend on my friend, then my expectation is that that's my expectation. That's what the word says.
And I mean, maybe I'll tweak what I said a little bit, just a tad, just a smidgen. Because I feel like I don't have expectations for people who are not at a certain level of relationship. Maybe that's what it is. Because when it comes to my husband, baby, it's very much like I said what I said. We leave no room for interpretation. This is what I want.
Yeah.
This is how I want it done.
I understand.
This is where I want it done at. Don't deviate from this plan. Okay. And I think even with my friends, like where my friends are concerned, like I even remember like with my bachelorette party, and I think I posted something real random. Like I told my girls like, oh, it don't have to be nothing. It just needs to be slight. Da, 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 da. And I was like, but on the other hand, there better be unicorns and fireworks and glitter everywhere.
We knew you was just talking, because I'm like, and I think it's funny because thinking back then, I think it was because of everything that was going on with the pandemic. You didn't want to put your expectations so high, but I'm like, listen, we're gonna do what we need to do. Now, let me tell you, Leslie and Carissa especially, they held it down, and we got it done. Oh yeah, when she found that spot,
so that's perfect.
So y'all, but and I think y'all make it easy for me to have a level of expectation with those who are close to me. But for random schmandom people, I ain't got no expectations.
Nah, I
get it. Kicking it. I don't have no expectations. I'm not expecting anything out of you. So
I think one of the main things that you said was, because I was gonna say, sis, I think you do have expectations for but you said it. You end up saying it. Because I was about to say, I remember that last day, the second to last day at your bachelorette party, where it was supposed to be like a chill day, and we really want to do it much. And you was like, y'all ain't got no plans.
Where we going?
What's next?
You had sat down maybe for like a couple of hours, and then you looked around. It was like something needs to be happening. Everybody, like, okay, let's go ahead and do this. So I think you do, but like you correct. You got it right. But I was gonna
only from people that can expect things from me. I only expect things from people who can expect things from
you. Yeah, I was gonna say, maybe in that process too is just like, I love how you were saying how you're very communicative with your husband, but I feel like it's okay to be communicative with your friends too. Like, to drop those nuggets. Cause like, I know it's like one of my friend groups, when it's near my birthday, I drop links. I'm like, just to let you know, this is what your girl's looking at, and I give you price range.
Yeah. And I mean, I think, and I mean, for any of the girls out there that's married, like me and my husband have shared 2 birthdays. Okay. Since we've been married, and our birthdays is a week apart. And the first one, he threw me a birthday dinner, and the birthday dinner wasn't with none of my friends.
It was because of COVID.
No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. He could have invited my friends. He could have done a friend party versus a family party.
He did invite.
That was,
But he could have. Okay. From my understanding, it was, I was going to have everybody, but then the amount of people was low. So we just went with family. For me, it's like you should have went with the friend group versus a family party. I mean, I enjoyed the family party.
It was also because of precautions as well, especially that first year.
I mean, I guess, but I say that to say, so that was the first year, and I had a conversation, and I said, you know what I did for you for your birthday? That's what I want for me. What I did for you, I need you to do that for me. And so the following year, he stopped his game up. He did for me what I had did for him the year prior, and it was great. But you know what he was missing? Wasn't no balloons, wasn't nothing that said happy birthday on the day of my birthday. And so I had to say, you know what, Emmett, I love you, I really do. But
it's a work in progress.
I don't care if we in another country. I'm gonna need me a balloon or a card or a cake. I don't even eat cake, but I need something to say happy birthday, so at least I know
I understand. It was
he was like,
1
I took
year.
you on a whole trip. I said, yeah. And what you give me that say happy birthday on
the
it?
cake and the balloon matters.
Them freaking Flower Miles say happy birthday. No, I'm kidding.
You a mess. But all that to say, like, to Lauren's point, yeah, like, I'm gonna let you know, like, yo, my expectation is X. I appreciate this, but this is my expectation.
Yeah.
Your friends will let you know if they can meet the expectation.
Yeah.
True. That's true too.
True.
But I will say, kind of, I was going in that direction that Lauren just kind of went in. Sometimes the beauty also in having expectations, like I have a friend group and now birthdays obviously are a thing. And initially it was like, okay, we're going to spend this amount of money, right? And everybody was cool with this amount of money. It's done grown to, because the expectation keeps increasing, like, oh, how can we top, or what else can we do, like, and it becomes fun. And although you're meeting an expectation, it's more of like an expression of how much you love that person and you care about that person and you just really want that person to enjoy or realize how much they mean to you. So sometimes expectations also, when you're clear, they just keep growing and growing and growing, and it just increases your faith, you know.
I think that's also a testament to growing in friendship.
Yeah.
Like, I think back to like the gifts that Leslie and Carissa would get me in the 10th grade, and the gifts that we get each other now as literal grown women. And it's like, you know, and I think that seeing those over the years is a testament to like, wow, like we've really grown as a friend group.
Yeah.
So that's dope.
And your dedication to one another too. Because I you know, I look at the fact that I am in a whole nother zip code now, but that my friends are so like dedicated, like y'all include me on stuff. Like y'all don't have to, you know. I have one friend group, they'll FaceTime me like when they're all together. And I'm like, oh my God, that is so sweet that y'all thought about me to even FaceTime me, you know, or just even like if y'all having like among us, we're having communication and we're texting each other. You're like, somebody FaceTime, let's all get on FaceTime. You know, usually Ayana would say that, yeah, just get on FaceTime real quick, you know.
And don't have her camera on at all.
That's not
let's
true.
FaceTime, but I can't face Ayana at all.
What are you talking about?
Oh my God.
But I just love the growth. I think, and like what you were saying, how, you know, comparing your friendships from 10th grade to like adult space, like for me, none of them outweigh each other, because it was like, you know, I held y'all to a 10th grade standard, and now I'm holding y'all to an adult standard, and y'all meeting it like flying colors, you know. So
most of the time.
Oh
and I mean that for myself. I mean, we've had that conversation about me not being the best friend, but I feel like I've grown so much, like as a friend, because I have such good friends that they've grown me to be a better friend. So, or y'all grown me to be a better friend. So, I hope something was said that these people liked. I just feel like y'all should have really liked this episode, because
they love friendship episodes anyway, so we know they're gonna love this one.
Yeah.
And if you don't have any friends, I just say, you know, maybe God has you focusing on something else. And like your friend group, if you would do the thing that he told you to do, maybe your friend group is connected to that.
That part, Lauren, that part.
Yeah, because I wasn't going to church. But when I started, guess what? I found friends.
Oh my gosh. Lord. Any last words, Ayana, before we head on out?
No, it's crazy. I'm sitting here and I feel like I found the root of my not expecting, but I'm not going to say it on camera. I'll tell y'all afterwards, because it's,
Is it another episode?
No, it will never be an episode, because I just literally was like, dang.
That's the transformation shirt that you called it. You said, "My
Lord,
no, it ain't me." But I recognize something. Ooh, okay, I'll tell y'all. But no, I don't have anything.
Lord, well, all right. Thank you so much to everybody who tunes in, who listened, or who is catching this on YouTube and watching. We love you guys. If you aren't following us, please be sure to follow us at Save Girl Secrets on Facebook and on Instagram at Save Girl Secret. No, that's on Twitter. If you are watching this on YouTube, be sure to subscribe. And even if you're listening to the podcast, go to YouTube, look us up, and subscribe.
Yes.
To the podcast.
See our beautiful faces
on the video format. Mine's is, girl, I'm clean face today. Okay, you can't even really
still cute, honey.
Me too, girl. Clean face.
What? I got lip gloss. I ain't got on that nails. Okay, I'll say it.
Oh my
God. That moisturizer.
I love it. We love you guys. God bless you.
Love and peace, guys.
Bye.
Bye.